Hello, everyone. Today, I come before you to shed light on a grave injustice that has affected countless lives. The government, sworn to uphold justice, has been incarcerating members of our community under the guise of drug law enforcement without alleging or proving that that person knew they were dealing with an illegal substance. In 2011, my father, along with others, was indicted on federal drug charges under false pretenses. What we are about to share is not some legal loophole, but rather proof of the government's deception, which has allowed them to illegally incarcerate you. In 2015, the Supreme Court's decision in U.S. versus McFadden clarified a fundamental principle. The government must prove that the defendant knew they were dealing with a controlled substance to secure a conviction. This ruling may seem obvious. After all, it's common sense that a person should be aware they're engaging in illegal activity before facing incarceration. However, the reality is that for decades, individuals have been imprisoned without the government demonstrating such knowledge. We had an English teacher and other professionals examine my father's jury instructions along with other documents. They agree that the jury was not instructed to find my father knew he was dealing with a controlled substance. What happened in my father's case is not unusual. It's the norm. To get the full scope of the picture, we must look at the indictment. An indictment is supposed to inform a defendant in ordinary language of the essential elements of the charges against him. Instead, the government has used the conspiracy law to avoid their legal obligations. A conspiracy is an agreement between two or more people to do something. Here, the defendants are charged with making an agreement to violate a federal drug law, elements of which are having knowledge of dealing with a controlled substance and distributing or possession of the controlled substance. Some of you may have noticed that there is conflict here. How can a person have advanced knowledge of dealing with a controlled substance? The short answer is it's impossible. The phrase agree to is a reference to perform some act in the future, and this is the root of the dissonance that you are experiencing. Grammatically speaking, the adverbs knowingly and intentionally only modify the verbs distribute and possess. The adverbs are prohibited from modifying the direct objects, cocaine and controlled substance, because it would make the sentence unintelligible. It is impossible to know in advance that a mixture contains a controlled substance. Therefore, the literal interpretation of the conspiracy charges alleges that the defendant agreed to distribute a mixture containing a controlled substance without alleging that they knew the substance was illegal. What does this all mean? McFadden made it very clear. The government must prove that the defendant knew he was dealing with a controlled substance, and they cannot avoid their duties under McFadden simply by charging a person under the conspiracy statute. In short, the government has been incarcerating people for supposed drug law violations without alleging or proving that the defendant knew they were dealing with an illegal drug. Anywhere else, this would be considered kidnapping.
We cannot stand idly by as our loved ones suffer unjustly. We must demand accountability, real change, and reparations for those affected. I urge you to join us in our fight for justice. Sign our petition. Demand the return of our incarcerated loved ones and hold those responsible accountable. Together, we can end this war against the American people. Thank you.